Hi there, class. This is Mrs. Albright, and today we are working on Module 5, Lesson 7. And in this lesson, our objective is to use the area model and multiplication to show the equivalence of two fractions. So I'm starting with the fraction 1/3, and I can draw a model to represent that. Here's my tape diagram. I'm going to break it into 3 equal parts, and I'm going to shade in one of them. Now we know that this right here is 1/3. It is one of 3 equal parts. I want to find a fraction that is equal to 1/3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of these thirds and multiply it by 2. I'm going to take that third and break it in 2, that third and break it in 2, and that third and break it in 2 as well. So what I'm doing is I am taking my 3/3 that I have and multiplying them by 2. Now you'll see that I'm also taking my 1/3 that I started out with shade and I'm multiplying that by 2. I'm turning that into 2 smaller pieces. Now when I multiplied this across, 1 times 2 is 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. And you can see in my area model that that is exactly what I show. I show that I have 6 equal parts and 2 of those parts are shaded. Now we're going to do that again with another fraction. Here I'm starting with the fraction 1/2. Now I'm going to take that fraction, I'm going to break it across here. Now I have 4 equal parts. I'm going to break it up even more. So now I have a total of 8 equal parts. But what I want to know is how can I use multiplication to get from 1/2 to an equivalent fraction in eighths. Now when I took this and made my area model to break it into smaller sections, I took my 1/2 and I multiplied it by 4. So I'm going to take my 1 numerator and multiply it by 4. I did that with each half. So even though in my numerator here I have 2, I multiplied each of those sections by 4 and turned each of those sections into 4 equal parts. And you can see that here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts in each half. So 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. Now what I want you to think about is if we had taken the same fraction 1/2 and instead of dividing each half into 4 equal sections, what would happen if we divided each half into 3 equal sections? What would our new multiplication sentence be, and what would the equivalent fraction be? For our next problem, we're starting with 1/4. And with this 1/4, I want to think about how many pieces I'm going to break each fourth into. So for this example, I'm going to break each of those fourths into 3 equal pieces. So really what I'm doing is I'm taking that 1 and multiplying it by 3. Now I have 4 of those 1/4. So I'm taking each of those fourths and multiplying each of them by 3. So what is my new equivalent fraction when I multiply 3 times the numerator and the denominator? For the final fraction, we're going to start with 1/3. And I'm going to ask you to decide how many times you are going to divide each third. So if this right here is 1/3, you can choose to either break each third into 2 parts, you can break each third into 3 parts. It's up to you. And in your question, you need to tell me what you are multiplying the numerator and the denominator by in order to get an equal fraction and what that equal fraction is. I look forward to working with you more on this concept in class tomorrow. Thanks. Have a great night.